Alright, so let's talk about today. Um, First, I guess I'll start by talking about yesterday. Yesterday was Wednesday, February 7th. I didn't take any trades yesterday because here's market open right here about 9:30. We basically dropped to the downside, like took this low by a tick, and then ripped to the upside and then consolidated the rest of the day. So I didn't take any trades. And then today I basically said to myself, I'm not going to take any trades until we either take this buy side level or we take this sell side level. Zooming out a bit, we took out this high here of this large range we have, and we're basically just consolidating here. I realistically want to see us rip to the downside and have this be like your accumulation, manipulation, and then go see all of these lows here. But we'll have to see what happens over the next days and in a week or so. But zooming back in a bit, I was pretty I was disciplined the whole day up until the the one trade that I took. But this red level that you see here is this standard deviation level. So I don't use standard deviation a ton just because I'm not really well versed in it, but I am trying to use it more often. And I had this level, so we came down, we took this low, like I was saying before, by a tick, and then you have your little market structure shift push to the upside. So this red zone here is the 2 to 2.5 standard deviation, and we saw that earlier in the day. On Wednesday, we wicked off this, and then we could never claim above it. And so today, we seem to also be holding this 2 to 2.5, and we can't get above this so far. So once I saw this external buy side get hit, we had a little SMT here. Actually, did we? No, we didn't. Alright, that's what happens when you trade on your phone. This would I was expecting these highs were the exact same, so when I saw we were over here, I was like, oh, there's a big SMT there, but I guess there actually wasn't an SMT. Because this high here is this. So, alright. That's what happens when you trade at work. But anyway, so I thought there was an SMT there, and then we basically consolidated up here. We took this buy side level. If you see down here, we have our low resistance liquidity here. And when you're looking right here, this looks like a good sell model starting to form. You broke these two lows. That's your classic 2022 sell model, right? You took out this external level, you took out an internal level, displacement. You would expect pullback to here, targeting these lows. We had 1 o'clock news. I don't even remember what it was. It was some bond thing. Yeah, 30-year bond. And so we just kind of straight lined off of that news, which I'm kind of surprised about. But either way, this was that 5-minute fair value gap. We kind of ended up kind of chopping around here. And as we were selling off here, if you look at the 5, we held this 5 on this leg down, and I was sort of married to the bias that we were chopping all day the PM session is starting to not clean up, but like we're starting to have a little bit of displacement rather than, there's no fair value gaps here on a 5-minute, and then all of a sudden we're starting to displace a bit. I was pretty married to the bias that this was going to be, where's my path? We were going to come to this 5 like we did, reject off of it, pull back, and we were going to go run all of these lows with my main anticipation that we would go here. So I was just a little married to that, and I basically tried to I was trying to find a trade here rather than seeing an opportunity and capitalizing on it. I was searching for an opportunity. I was checking all the time frames. Are there any fair value gaps here? Where are the fair value gaps, right? I mean, I guess here you tapped into this 2-minute or whatever, but there wasn't any internal models to play, so we had this 2-minute. We came up to this, and I took a pretty terrible trade. There was no internal model even. If I move this over, we basically came up into it, and then we displaced a little bit. We had a 15-second fair value gap, and then I was like, alright, I'm anticipating this to hold, this inverse, and I mean, my stop was a 4-point stop, but I was basically saying I want this to hold, and I want us to dump, and I'm just going to target this internal low. And then I got stopped, and right as I got stopped, I was like, that was kind of stupid, because if anything, you would be looking for this. You take out this high, you have your displacement, but there is no low that you broke through, so you're still waiting. And the only valid setup would be is if we came from here, hit this 15-second, displaced, and then you take the second entry going for that low. That would be the only way this would make any sense, and as you can just see by the arrows, it looks like buy side of the curve, sell side of the curve. What I'm doing right here does not look like buy side of the curve, sell side of the curve. That's sell side, buy side in itself. So, just pretty crappy trade. I mean, nothing to really say about it. Just bad trade. But it was an $8 loss. So, I'm not okay with it because it was a crappy trade, but, extremely easy to recover from that, trading one contract. Any trade any winner that I take, it will blow that out of the water. So, from a risk reward standpoint, it's fine. But yeah, this should have been a no trade day because we ended up coming up here and just chopping. I mean, this is a 15-second chart, but what is this? This is garbage. The only other trade that I was sort of looking for today was in here. I guess you have, if you're looking at a real internal model, you have a trade in here, but I was a little bit more zoomed out. I was trying to look for the external model to start to play out, like this 5-minute here, and then I was trying to look for an internal sell model in here to then target the lows. But I guess after not trading yesterday, I kind of forced a trade. I wanted to trade. Bad mentality to have. But either way, small loss, and then little slap in the face, and I'm like, all right, what am I doing? I gotta step away. That was stupid. So overall, though, before I started this YouTube channel, I was much less disciplined, and I would do things like this very often. I would take a lot of these little losses, and so I'm starting to tighten up a bit, and I haven't been taking crappy losses like that, I think, recently, and, you know, little relapse here today, but hopefully, you know, that's a little slap in the face, and I get to tighten things up coming into tomorrow and next week. But tomorrow's Friday, and there's no news, so I'm assuming we're just gonna chop a ton there as well. So who knows if I'll take a trade, but either way, you know, not a good trade, but I'm documenting all the trades that I do, so